Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE Smackdown on January 24th, 2017. And well, this Smackdown was a very interesting one because, oddly enough, outside of a couple of segments, this show did not feel like it was a show that was going into the Royal Rumble. You only had a couple things that really revolved around it, such as the Cena AJ Styles promo, which I'll talk about in a minute, and like an over the top rope challenge, and also they did have another thing out there with a promo that led to a 6-woman tag, but otherwise you did not get a lot of ramblings or talk about the Royal Rumble event. It felt like it was almost like an afterthought in some way, shape, or form on this particular show. Which is kind of weird. So they started off the show with Daniel Bryan and The Miz backstage. Daniel Bryan was about ready to eat an apple while Miz comes in and interrupts him. It's like, "Where's my private dressing room?" All that blah blah. And it's like he wants to know what Daniel Bryan's going to do about it. Well, he makes an Intercontinental title rematch with Dean Ambrose. Miz is trying to get no DQ. It's like, how about this? Lumberjack match instead of no DQ. And of course Miz ends up being angry at that, and I kind of am too, because I'm not a big fan of Lumberjack matches, and this one later in the night, which I'll talk about a little bit later, was also kind of a lot of questions about where they were going with that Lumberjack match. The first match of the night ended up being Randy Orton going up against Luke Harper. Orton, of course, was over in this match, but it was, for one, it was a good match, and there was a lot of mannerisms that I really liked about this match, like the aspect of Bray Wyatt, just like for the most part throughout the entire match, was kind of just staring forward, not acknowledging both guys in any way. And also the aspect, like during the match as well, both of them were outside, looked like they were both going to get counted out, and Bray Wyatt throws both of them back in the ring because he wants them to get everything out. In every sense of the word. Randy Orton goes over in what I thought was actually a pretty good match. I think Luke Harper's always been one of those talents that, he can put on really good matches, but always kind of gets, thrown into obscurity in some way, shape, or form, if you want to believe that one or not. But overall, like I said, a good match between the both of them. I know they've done the match in the past, but it's been this one's been a little while since we've seen it, so it came off pretty good. And at the end of the match as well, you're kind of left wondering. Luke Harper eats a Sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt. Does that mean he's out of the Wyatt family, or is that like a tough love thing? Like they leave questions like, well, what's going on here, and what's like the future of Luke Harper and everything in that sense. So you get a little bit of tease going around later on as well. Up next was a Mickie James promo, basically talking about basically reintroducing her to everybody. And why she did what she did and everything in that sense. I like the aspect of when Renee Young would ask Mickie James a question, she would kind of dodge it with a different response and everything in that sense. She eventually does. It doesn't really say why she attacks Becky Lynch, but does get to a point that Becky Lynch comes out, interrupts, and starts beating down Mickie James, making Mickie initially run, but she lures her into a trap where Alexa Bliss was waiting and knocks down Becky, and they both end up knocking her out to go along with it in the end, kind of solidifying the aspect that these two are going to be teaming up. And also, and they also play that off a little bit in the promo, saying that Alexa Bliss was like the only female during this quote-unquote revolution that remembered anything of Mickie James and everything in that sense. So I thought that overall this ended up being a very good segment of the show. And good match, good segment here. And then James Ellsworth Carmella happened. And I don't think this segment was as bad as some people say. Don't get me wrong. It was a bad segment. The whole shopping thing was a bad segment in the end. Some of the jokes were at least funny. like the bit where he comes out in like the fur coat and hat, and almost does a Godfather bit, and then Carmella's like, no train, not doing that, when he was about to say Ho Train from the Godfather way back when. So yeah, that segment, it was a bad segment, but I heard a lot of people say like it was super atrocious and everything in that sense. I don't think it was as bad as what people thought it was, but it was still bad. It wasn't one of those bits that it wasn't one of those bits that was so bad it was funny. It was just bad, but it wasn't overly atrocious to go along with, like I've been hearing from some other people to go along with that. But still bad segment. I did not like that segment between Carmella and James Ellsworth. Up next was the over the top rope challenge, or quote unquote the battle royal. It was a 10-man battle royal, and the winner gets in the Royal Rumble, which conveniently hosted most of the tag team division and Mojo Rawley and Kurt Hawkins. Which Mojo would still be considered part of the tag team division, I guess, whenever Zack Ryder comes back, but he's kind of a singles guy now. This match was meh. Corbin was on commentary as well, and I didn't really... He seemed way too laid back on commentary this week. He's like, I'm just kind of out here. Yeah. Mojo goes over in the end, so he gets a spot in the Royal Rumble. The match itself, this was a super quick battle royal as well. Not much of anything happened. You did get like a little spot, a little tease of Rhino and Heath Slater maybe breaking off, where Rhino tries to eliminate Heath Slater right off the bat. But this match was kind of just, it was kind of mad, and it felt like it was just there in any way, shape, or form. Up next was the AJ Styles calling out John Cena, and the delivery of this promo was good. The delivery of the promo was good. The content of the promo is questionable in some areas. I felt like we've seen this particular promo many a times before, just in the sense of people calling out Cena for getting all the breaks and everything like that, and then Cena rebuts with how hard he works and everything in that sense. I feel like they deliver this promo really well, but it's content of the promo I feel like we have seen many a times over, and I think that kind of hurt this promo going forward with everything. It almost felt like they were doing. It almost felt like they were doing maybe not a burial, but it made it feel like Cena was they made it feel like Cena was going over, and it was just going to be a simple go over at the Royal Rumble. And then again, that could be the power of the swerve too to go along with it. So we can always wait and see what they do at the promo. I do like the aspect that they brought up the poster to the Royal Rumble, and they also brought up the Today Show, where the one host had no idea what was going on. It's like, oh, you're just facing some guy from Atlanta, even though he's from Gainesville. And Cena playing along with it. There's a couple little quips in there that was good, but I feel like we've seen this particular promo many a times over, and like I said, it was delivered well. It was just, I think we've just seen it a lot, and it's one of those things that I think in the end it kind of hurt the promo overall. Up next was Kalisto going up against Dolph Ziggler. This was pretty much a squash match. It ended in about a minute. And they were trying to push over the aspect of Ziggler being more of a heel. He wins really quickly with a super kick. He wins cleanly. No heelish antics there. But after the match, he again goes for the chair and everything like that. And I like the aspect of even JBL, what are you doing? And he's trying to get up, maybe they're teasing something with him and JBL down the road or something in that sense. I don't know, but we'll see where they get. That leads to anything. But this leads Apollo Crews to come out, and I feel like that's where they're going next with this. Is maybe he works a program with Apollo Crews down the road here, and we'll see where everything goes from there on that side of it, because Apollo Crews chases him off after the fact, preventing the attack with a steel chair to Kalisto afterwards. So, yeah, you would assume that's going to be Dolph Ziggler's next program is Apollo Crews. Up next was going to be Naomi versus Natalya, but they had shown a bit earlier in the night where Natalya had attacked Nikki Bella out in the parking area, or the back, or like the loading area, the loading dock area of the arena, and before the match even starts, Natalya's music plays, and then they cut backstage, and Nikki Bella's attacking Natalya, so the match doesn't happen. The next aspect was Naomi cutting a promo, basically because it's supposed to be her return back, and saying she's calling out anybody to come out, and Alexa Bliss was the one that comes out, and it just really, this entire segment came off rather weird, I guess, just in the end, because it's leading to a 6-woman tag with Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Nikki Bella going up against Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. So they're kind of blending all the stories together, and they're kind of getting Naomi in there. And also makes you lead to believe that maybe Alexa Bliss's next challenger is going to be Naomi. Going forward, I guess, for Elimination Chamber or something like that, or for a SmackDown or something like that here in the very near future. We'll see where they go with it. But this segment just came off rather weird, because obviously they tease Alexa Bliss going in there and fighting Naomi, but she backs off and then just was cutting a promo through the entire time. It just turned into an elongated promo at that point. It wasn't bad. It just came off a little weird. That's about it on that one. And this leads to the main event of the night, which was Dean Ambrose versus The Miz in a Lumberjack match. And notice my excitement when I say Lumberjack match for the Intercontinental title. I'm not a fan of Lumberjack matches, and this one left even weirder. It came off even a little bit more weird on the aspect of at the end of the match. And we've seen this so many times in a Lumberjack match before, where all the Lumberjacks jump into the ring, and it causes a disqualification. It does this, it does that, and it just doesn't come. And we've seen that plenty of times. But this time around, apparently this was a no DQ match to go along with it, because Baron Corbin runs in there and attacks Dean Ambrose, and the match is still going on afterwards, leading to Dean Ambrose actually getting the pinfall victory over The Miz in the end. It's like head scratcher. It's like, yeah, really? It's like you just make up the rules as you guys go along. Oh, wait, they do. Wait, they do. I'm not gonna lie, they do. In that sense. But it's like, it's one of those bits where you've seen Lumberjack matches in the past, and you see all of them jump in the ring. It just causes a disqualification, the match getting thrown out, and this and that. It's like, this time it happens, and man, just continue on with the match. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it didn't come off all that well to me. I did not really care for this match all that much. Ambrose keeps the title. I guess you could also play off the aspect of the SmackDown guys jumping into the ring being a thing where it's like that one big brawl that you're supposed to get before the Royal Rumble or something like that. But usually that's how they end the show or something in that sense. But no, it's like, it's just part of the match now. Yeah, we'll just go with it. So overall, this week's SmackDown was a little bit weird one, because it just felt like they were going through, not going through the motions, but going through their normal routine leading into Elimination Chamber, and you have the Royal Rumble this Sunday. And you get very little mention about the Rumble in any way, shape, or form. I also have a couple segments to go along with it, but you don't really get much about it. And then, if you take a look at it, really the only matches now that are on the SmackDown side for the Rumble are the 6-woman tag, Cena and AJ, and the people who are going to be in the Rumble match. The SmackDown guys don't even have a pre-show match to go along with it. So, yeah. So it just felt like they were building towards Elimination Chamber more than they were building towards, hey, Royal Rumble's this Sunday. Watch it. You really get that feeling all that much throughout the entire show. And that's just how I ended up feeling about it. But overall, not a bad show by any stretch of the imagination. Just, it came off a little weird considering Royal Rumble's this Sunday and they're not just blasting it at you. It's like, hey, watch a Sunday moment. And I mean, I guess you could subtly say they've kind of done that throughout the entire build up towards the Royal Rumble. So why do it here? But usually it's like, this is the last show before the Rumble. It's like, you got to hammer the rest of it home. That they don't really do that all that much in this show. So it just came off a little bit weird in the end. Not a bad show again, by any stretch of the imagination, though. So that being said, that is my review this week for WWE Smackdown. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.